A-level physics can be a practical subject as this really illustrates the underlying physics principles. Now, when you do a practical experiment, you take lots of data, and then to get a better result, we often plot this data on a graph, often to find some kind of constant. So I have some of the graphs here that you will become familiar with throughout the course. Now, the first one over here is what happens if you have a spring, you apply a force to it, and we measure the extension. And what we find is, provided we haven't gone beyond the elastic limit, if we look at the relationship between the force and the extension, we find that they are directly proportional. And here, the gradient is equal to k, which is what we call the spring constant. So that works if you've got a spring, but if we also have a sample of metal, we can do something very similar, where we look at the stress and the strain. And again, for this linear region at the start, we can then measure or calculate something called the Young modulus. Sometimes, of course, we have a gradient which is negative. Now, for the first one over here, if you were to have a cell or a battery, and you were to look at the potential difference across it as we had a bigger current flowing through it, what we'd find is when you had a greater current, we would have a lower potential difference. And here, the intercept of that line is equal to the EMF, and the gradient is equal to minus R, which is the internal resistance. So sometimes by taking some data, we can plot it on a graph and then find these new values. And also, if we were to maybe have something like a capacitor, as it discharges, if we were to measure the potential difference across it and take the natural log of that value, we could then get a graph like this. And this allows us then to work out things like the time constant of that capacitor resistor circuit. Now, of course, that physics will be covered later in the course, but it is so important to understand how to plot the data and then how we can actually interpret that in order to find some other physical constant. And so what all of these graphs have in common is that we have a straight line that at some point meets the y-axis. And if we were to maybe just think about the x-axis here and the y-axis here, we tend to label the gradient as little m and the y-intercept as c. And that then means the equation for this line is y is equal to mx plus c. And this is going to be super important. There are so many examples in questions that you do in class, in exam questions, where you're going to get some data, you may need to rearrange the equation, but you ultimately end up with some data and a graph in this format. And if you can work out the gradient, that often means something. And if you work out the y-intercept, that will also mean something as well. So this is going to be probably the most important kind of graph that you're going to come across in A-level physics. By the way, this is just one of many videos I've made covering all of the maths that you need to understand for A-level physics. It's part of a mini course which includes many more topic videos, multiple worked examples, and also a guide that you can download. You can find all of this over at alevelphysicsonline.com.